Hey, do you have any regrets? Today on the Heavens Metal Podcast, we're talking regrets, but from a different viewpoint than this one. Hey, different perspective. Today I'm going to talk about a regret I have from high school football. We're talking all the way back to 1980. It was the last game of the season, the last regular season game. We were playing Mojave. Went to Desert High, Edwards Air Force Base, California. Mojave was one of our rivals, not as much of a bitter rival as Boron, but probably more of a rival than Rosemond. Anyway, so our coaches, leading up in that week, they were teaching us plays. We had a scouting offense and a scouting defense. I played defense. I played inside linebacker in a 4-4, which is a great defense, by the way. And they were teaching us about one of Mojave's favorite plays, which was the middle screen pass. And so they studied the film, and they broke down the play for us, and we had the scouting offense run the play for us. And the defensive coach, our defensive coordinator, was a guy named Lyman Olney. Lyman was an awesome coach. So was Leroy Matthews and Chuck Simmons. All big guys. Great. And one thing I want to say about coaches, one thing I learned about playing high school football, and kids, you can learn a lot of lessons from high school football. There, I said it. You were expecting me to say that, and I said it because it's true. Anyway, one thing that I took away from high school football about football is the importance of assistant coaches. Assistant coaches know their stuff, and they're the ones that get involved with the players in a nuts and bolts manner. And they're really responsible for the success you'll see on the football field. The head coach is almost like a CEO sometimes. Sometimes he's a motivator, but oftentimes he's an organizer, like a CEO or a president of an organization. And so props to assistant coaches everywhere. So anyway, we're playing the game against Mojave. And a little anecdote that just came to my mind, and I like to speak my mind. I didn't have that great of a senior year at football. I battled injuries. The first 5 games of the year, I missed playing linebacker because I hurt my back when I was motocrossing in between the 2 hell weeks we had. It was the first hell week of nothing but exercise and killing you, and the second of everything with that plus pads. That weekend in the middle, I went out motocross and going over a lot of whoop-de-doos. When I stood up on my pegs on the way home, the small of my back started killing me. I have a disc that hurts. Kept me out of 5 games. Then when I came back, I had another injury. I'll talk about that in another podcast. Aren't you excited? We're going to do more than one of these football podcasts. Hooray! Way to go! Woo! Anyway, so I was actually starting this game and playing and making some good plays. I remember sticking, I think his name was Sam Mitchell, their running back, behind the line of scrimmage. And at halftime, Coach Leroy Matthews said, some of the seniors out here are finally playing up to their potential. He didn't call me out by name, but I kind of knew, and I assume he was talking about me. Anyway, back to this play, the middle screen pass. It was opening up just like I saw it in practice. So I went forward. I can't remember what the keys are, but in most screen passes, the offensive linemen let the defensive linemen rush past them so they can form a wall, and the quarterback throws the ball over the rushing linemen that almost get him into the hands of a running back who's standing there right behind his lineman, and they run down the field behind this wall. And this was, most of the screen passes are in the flat on the ends, but this is a middle screen pass. It was opening up just like the textbook, just like my coaches showed me. So I came in and I approached their running back, and immediately I thought, I am on this play, but if I get too close to him, the quarterback's gonna see that I'm right on him and he won't throw it to him. So I tried to stand back far enough away so the quarterback would think he was open, but close enough to close on the ball right when the ball came. And so I did that. I was overthinking the situation, I think. Anyway, so I come in there, the quarterback throws to him, and I step in front of the running back and I swat that ball. It probably swatted about 5 yards that way. And my fellow players congratulated me, nice play. And then Monday morning, we were sitting in the classroom, the biology room at Desert High, watching the game film. And Coach Olney Says, what happened here, Van Pelt? That should have been 6 points in glory. And I wish I would have. I have a couple regrets. One is that I wish I would have spoken up to the coach and told him what I was thinking and why I made that lapse in judgment of staying too far behind. And maybe as a coach, he could have told me how to overcome that in the future, because most of athletics is up here. Our coach used to always say, in football, success is 90% confidence and 10% skill, which is one of those things that stuck with me. I believe it's true about football. But those coaches maybe could have told me something that would have helped me in the future if I ever faced a play like that. My other regret is I didn't step up. I had a chance to pick that ball off. It was probably on the 25-yard line. It would have been smooth sailing to the end zone. I would have scored 6 points. I was the place kicker also. I would have run over there and grabbed the ball and kicked the extra point, and I would have had all 7 points. And for my ego, that would have been heaven on football earth. Anyway, so those are my regrets. Now I can hear some of you saying, regrets, Doug, let it go. It's in the past. It's high school football. Let it go. Well, you know what? I have let it go. I don't have any regrets. But you know, one of the great things about mistakes we make in the past, which I call regrets, is that they can teach us lessons. And a lesson I learned from that is, in situations in life, don't overthink. When you see something happening and the way you visualize it is coming true, don't overthink it. Just play, just respond, just react, just do what you do and go for it. By all means, go for it. Don't freeze up, don't overthink it, and go for it with all your might. If you fail, hey, you failed. So what? And sometimes failure is better than the what ifs. You know, what if I would have been able to grab that ball with both hands? If I would have tried to catch it instead of slapping it away. So there you go. Just wanted to share a regret from my past, something I still remember just like it happened yesterday. But again, it's not a regret. I don't care. It's over. It's in the past. It doesn't influence me in my day-to-day, but I want to extract lessons to learn, to be better, to go for it, to grab things, to set goals and achieve them. So anyway, we won that game. I think it was about 35-10. We really did a number on Mojave, which was great. I remember one of the backstories was one of my buddies, his girlfriend lived in Cal City, and some of the Mojave players lived in California City, and they were making some flirtatious advances towards his girlfriend. So we wanted to kill that guy. And that guy was talking trash to us on the field sometimes between plays. And it felt so satisfying to basically shut that guy up with our play. We didn't have to trash talk back, but we all wanted to just kill him. I can't remember what position he played. I think he was a tight end. He might have been one of their running backs. But anyway, that was Desert High School back in 1980. Oh, and I want to make a obvious and unapologetic plug here. This is my great American novel. This is my life's work, Desert High. It's about my high school, Desert High. It's a novel about high school football and time travel. I go back to 1980 in a time machine at Edwards Air Force Base to try to right the wrongs that happened after that Mojave game. It was a CIF round 1 playoff game against Mammoth High School. When I see the word Mammoth or the word Huskies, even though Huskies are my favorite dog, I get mad inside. I have some unresolved issues, but then again, I don't. I'm okay, but I vicariously got to relive some of my childhood by writing this book. Anyway, deserthighbook.com, that's my shameless plug. It's like Friday Night Lights meets Back to the Future on the set of The Right Stuff. Anyway, I've gone on way too long. This is way too long of a video blog. You probably want to trash me and make some comments and say how much this video blog sucked. But if you enjoyed it, if you hated it, please comment, join the discussion, and flip around and look at some of these other Sanctuary International Matrix video blogs. They're pretty cool. See you next time for more football. Hurrah!